What's going on, guys? Your host, your boy, George Mackay, here again for our second episode of MLW Rewind. This episode, I'm flying solo. That's right. Unfortunately, my PIC, it's partner in crime, Lewis Carlin, is feeling a little bit under the weather. So Lewis, wish you a speedy recovery and hope everything's good. I personally think he's not sick. I think he's playing hooky. I'm looking right at him right now. Lewis, I think it's because you and I differed on that middleweight championship match. That's right. You were going for Myron. I was all about the man of the hour, Lio Rush. And I'm going to save my little tidbit of that match for the end of this episode. This one's going to be a quick one, guys. I'm just going to run down from this week's, if you will, MLW episode. That's right. The Kings of Collisium was on this past Wednesday, and it was a fantastic episode. One thing I like about the MLW product is that it's fast-paced. It keeps moving. It keeps the storylines going. There's not a whole lot of, dead air time. It's just boom, 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 boom. Consistency, and that's what makes MLW Fusion so fantastic. So the first match, top of the show, we had the Dirty Blondes featuring former guest of Straight Talk Wrestling's the wonderful Aria Blake and the Von Erichs. This was a great tag team match. They kind of went all over the building. And at the end of the day, we got to see the Von Erichs simply retain. Not without the trying of the Dirty Blondes. Obviously, they're underhanded. They do what they do. Aria Blake got in there with a cheap shot, low blow. I love it. I loved everything about this match. I'm a big fan of the tag team matches, and these two tag teams are very well-oiled machines. They also have great chemistry with one another. One thing I would like to see is eventually Aria Blake get away from the valeting and go back into the ring work because as I discussed in my interview with her, and you could go back through the archives to check that interview out, I love the in-ring work that she has. She is a very underrated wrestler, and I hope this time around in MLW that they actually utilize her a little bit more for her ring work and ability. And I know right now the product is just slow building. They're trying to wrap up certain storylines, and that's great. But I feel like she can be utilized elsewhere, especially in that women's division that I think needs to be highlighted a little bit more. You guys know, you listen to me all the time. I am an advocate of women's wrestling, and I think that MLW needs to kind of look at that female side of things a little bit more closely. I appreciate the valeting. It's a skill that slowly coming back for sure. But let's get a talented wrestler like Aria Blake, who is underutilized and a lot of people sleep on her skill. Let's get her a little bit more opportunity for in-ring work, not just wearing skin-tight dresses and low blows. Then we were supposed to have a grudge match between Jordan Oliver and Simon Gotch. Simon Gotch was a no-show, but later on in the show, we kind of pinpointed where he was and what was happening. And they also unveiled a new member of Contra. And if you're unsure about anything I'm talking about, you can obviously go to the MLW YouTube page, subscribe, support, fantastic product, and you can watch this whole episode in its entirety. It's literally 1 hour, actually just a little bit less than an hour, and it is, like I said, fast-paced. You will not be bored. You will be entertained for the entire time. The grudge match, back to my review now, my rewind, did not happen. Simon Gotch was a no-show. So we moved on to the middleweight championship, and this is where we got to see Myron Reed, my boy Lewis's pick, and my pick, Lio Rush, go head-to-head for that middleweight championship. Now, Jordan Oliver was at Myron Reed's side, but was not a factor in this match. There were a couple times where he looked like he might get involved, but he didn't. They kept it between the two of them, and this match was everything I expected. Two of the best middleweights in the game right now going head-to-head. Back and forth, great story, great pacing, great speed. A couple of slow spots here and there, but man, the defense, the maneuvers, all the stuff that was happening. There was a lot of great stuff going on, and it just so happened it could have been anybody's match. And there was a couple times Myron Reed could have put it away, a couple close calls. Same thing with Lio Rush, but it finally ended with Lio Rush getting the 1-2-3, pitting Myron Reed, and becoming the new middleweight championship. And I love the promo after. That's one thing I love about MLW. They kind of got that old school NWA feel where they do the promos right after the matches. And Lio Rush said it himself, Myron Reed, paper champ. But now that he's rocking the middleweight title, is gold. It is gold. 25-year-old piece of gold. I love it. The man of the hour, Lio Rush, is the new middleweight championship, and I cannot wait to see how him and MLW mesh together and what great matches we could see. And the great part about Lio Rush winning, and this is what I was going to say to Lewis, but like I said, he's under the weather, is that I get to see him and Myron Reed again. Myron Reed's going to get a rematch, going to work his way up into title contention. I get to see them again. go at it one more time. That's why I wanted Leo Rush to win, so I could get more. See that, Lewis? See that? It's not because I didn't think your pick was valid, because I wanted to see it again. I knew the first time around it was going to be great, so I obviously want to see part 2, because sometimes the sequel surpasses the original. Godfather Part 2, Back to the Future Part 2, and now Myron Reed versus Leo Rush for the middleweight championship 2. Boom. Next in the show, we had the National Openweight Championship, Alex Hammerstone versus Mads Kruger, the Black Hand of Contra. And right before then, we had the promo with Myron Reed and Jordan Oliver talking about his loss to Leo Rush. He stated Leo Rush was the better man in that night, and that, don't worry, he's going to come back. He's going to get the title. There's far from over between the two of them. And midway through the promo, Simon Gotch, the rest of Contra, showed up, beat the crap out of both Jordan Oliver and Myron Reed before laying the Contra flag over Jordan Oliver. And we got to see the new member of Contra be revealed. Name slips my mind right now, so sorry for that. But like I said, you can go back and watch everything in its entirety on the MLW YouTube page. And for our main event, we had Alex Hammerstone, the current National Openweight Championship, versus the undefeated Mads Kruger, the Black Hand of Contra. Now, this match started off like you would expect it. Hammerstone did not waste any time, ran into the ring. Bell didn't even ring yet. Max Kruger came out. They went to blows on the outside of the ring, and then he hit him with the title. There was power, and then we flew into the ring, and away we go. Ding, ding, ding. The match starts. It was a lot of back and forth, a lot of power moves, a lot of outside play, which for a title match in a main event, you would think that would be a head scratcher and weird, but it makes sense. It makes sense for this because the match ended via countout. Camera fades, went to black. They were out of time. Nobody loses. And here's why nobody loses. Max Kruger keeps the mystique of being undefeated, and Alex Hammerstone keeps his 2-year reign going, or almost 2-year reign going. And this makes perfect sense because all the mystiques stay the way they are. Max Kruger's undefeated. He didn't lose this match. It was a double countout. So both players essentially did not lose. It was just a double countout. Nobody won, nobody lost. Alex Hammerstone keeps his title, and it keeps the storyline building. And I love it. I love Contra. I've loved Contra since it started with MLW. I thought everything about the idea was great. And there's also another company that loved it because they kind of went and tried to do it with Retribution. Well, I said it. I'm going to leave it alone there. But they tried to do it the same way MLW is doing it, but only MLW is doing it better. There is mystique. There is great characters. There's a great storyline building here. And I love how Contra keeps growing. But it's not growing too quickly. It's just growing at a nice pace. So all in all, this was a great episode. Like I said, it's currently on the MLW YouTube page. You can find it. And just because I'm a glutton for self-promotion, anything related to myself, you can find me at _Straight Talk on Twitter, Straight Talk Wrestling on Instagram and on Facebook. And YouTube is also Straight Talk Wrestling. And my PIC, that's my partner in crime, Lewis Carlin. You can find him at Twitter at the Shooting Up North. That's the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And on Instagram, Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And on Facebook, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And he also does have a YouTube page, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. All our MLW stuff will be posted on either page. So you can find us at one or the other. Subscribe to both. It helps us out. It's all good. We appreciate it. And that's it. That's been this very, very quick episode for MLW Rewind this week. But I do want to let you all know we got another interview dropping next week. And it's somebody I spoke about in this episode. That's all I'm going to say. But it's somebody I spoke about in this episode. That'll be episode number 3. So make sure you tune in for that one. And obviously, we'll try to keep going with the interviews and the rewinds. And shout out to Court Bauer. You know we're here. You know we're existing. You know we're doing this to promote your product. So how about showing us a little bit of love and opening your roster to us so we can highlight these amazing talents on the show. Let them know that we're here. Let them know to hit us up. We would love that. I've sent a few messages out to some people. Hammerstone, want to get back to me. Also, Court Bauer, would love to get you on the show. Get your opinions of the product and where it's going and what you have planned for it. So it's all love here. From myself and my PIC, who's MIA right now, Lewis Carlin, thank you very much. This has been MLW Rewind. It's wrapped. It's in the can. Episode 2. We out. See you guys next week. Peace.